Red Sox catching prospect Kole Cottam spent time with the Worcester Red Sox and the Portland Sea Dogs throughout the 2022 season. We had the opportunity to speak with Kole on this episode of the Locked On Red Sox podcast.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I want to welcome you back into the Locked On Red Sox podcast, and thank you so much for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. I'm your host, Massachusetts Pirates team insider Jake Ignaszewski, and today we were joined by Red Sox catching prospect Kole Cottam. And as I mentioned in the open, Kole spent time between AA and AAA throughout this season. And we had the opportunity to speak with Kole a little bit about how he enjoyed spending time in Portland and also in Worcester, what he worked on throughout the season, and how he's enjoying his offseason. Now let's get into our conversation with Kole Cottam. So we are here with Red Sox catching prospect Kole Cottam. So Kole, this is your second time on the show. How have you been doing? How's the offseason? Anything fun going on?
Oh, it's been great. Thank you. Thank you for having me on again. It's been good to be back home with the family and everything. You know, with me and my wife expecting our first kid in February. It's been an exciting off season so far, and
That's awesome.
you know, like I said, it's good to see family, friends, play a little bit of golf here and there. It's been a good time.
That's awesome. So what did she figure out any creative way to like surprise you that, you know, there might be something coming or anything like that? You know, I've seen videos of those sort of surprises.
We're actually up in Portland this summer, and she got me a really sweet Father's Day card, and I was like, man, I didn't know. Did you not give this to your dad or something? And it was actually for me. It was a really, really cute surprise, and you know, it summed us up so well, and it was an incredible day.
That's so exciting. I don't know if you heard sort of how, you know, one of your teammates, Zach Kelly, sort of ended up having, you know, a child essentially like the same week or so that he ended up calling up. Hopefully, you know, this similar thing happens to you, but that's so exciting. And I bet you guys are starting to figure out, you know, where the nursery, you know, figure out all the logistics of that. But that must be super duper exciting.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is.
Absolutely, man. So outside of, you know, you winding down, relaxing with the family, is there anything like non-baseball related that you've really enjoyed so far this offseason?
You know, spending time obviously with the family, but I think golf is big for me in the off season, and you know, just catching up on all that, and just spending time outside and just enjoying the Tennessee weather and all that. It's been fun.
And have you been able to play with your brother at all? Because since we last spoke, now he's professional, right?
He is. So we've played once or twice so far. He's been pretty busy training over in Clemson, but we've played a few times so far this off season.
Who's been winning?
Oh, absolutely not me. Not me. He'd give me a couple strokes a hole or something. I might have a chance, but no, he's been beating me pretty good for the last 10, 15 years or so.
That's funny. Well, so, you know, really looking at your 2022 season, it was pretty eventful. Had the opportunity to spend time with not only Portland and Worcester, but I was curious from your standpoint, what was essentially your assessment of your 2022 season?
You know, it was an interesting season, like you said. You know, we had a lot. I was on two really good teams in Portland and Worcester, and you know, I think learning a lot from everybody there. I mean, we had a great staff at both teams, so. I think you know, I learned more this year than I had in all of my years professionally combined. I think, you know, dealing with different adversity and, you know, playing not as much throughout certain weeks, but I think I was a lot better at the end of this year than I was ever before. I think I learned a lot, and you know, with like I said, the staff we had, I think I was you know, we were working hard every day, so I think I learned more and got better a whole lot this year than I did in years past.
And, you know, looking back and reflecting, what do you think is that biggest lesson that might, you know, stick out more than some of the others?
You know, I think kind of just sticking to myself. I think with the coaches and all that, like, you know, just trusting the process and who I am. I think just letting myself play, and I think, you know, being able to get in, work every day, and just being able to, whether I'm playing or not, just be able to put in the work and be ready to go. Because I think, when I was playing at the end there, it was pretty fun, and I think, being able to get those ABs and catch all those really good arms, I mean, it was pretty special. So I think we had a good thing rolling, just kind of sticking to the process there, and taking into next year.
And that's something that I feel like not only baseball, but obviously sports as well, but just regular life, just trusting the process, not getting too much in your head, not allowing the external forces to essentially dictate your feeling on a day-to-day basis and impact your performance specifically on the field. But for yourself, looking back at your time in Portland to get the opportunity to be called up, I remember getting the opportunity to see you play. I believe it was in New Hampshire, watching the Fisher Cats, and saw that you had a multiple game on base streak. Let's go, Kole. But so what do you think helped you be so good throughout your final days, your time in Portland throughout this past season?
I think confidence was big. I think being able to have confidence going in, and I think I had a good thing going at the plate in Portland, and I think it was it was a culmination of a lot of hard work. I mean, it was a very up and down season in Portland, but ended up the back half of the Portland season pretty good. And I think just being able to, like I said, work with the staff there, and spend a lot of time just hitting by myself and just thinking through stuff and just having fun again. I mean, baseball is such a fun game. I think just getting back to the roots of that. Like I said, we had such a good team, such a good environment. Even in Worcester, the same thing. I mean, we had a lot of my buddies, but man, it was a fun team. I think we had some characters, so I think being able to just have fun, and I think that was kind of big for us. We were in the hunt there for a while with Worcester as well, and so I think we took that seriously. We had a whole lot of fun doing it, and I think just getting to that and just having that, just be a little kid again, just have fun and have a good time was kind of relieving, and it just turned into good results too.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And was there any characters that stuck out in your mind thinking about it now?
Oh, I mean, of course, you got Ignaszewski, and you have and we had we had so many guys, but there were so many the personalities and the characters. I mean, it was wild. So to say the least. I mean, you had the whole Fitzy thing going with, right. We're all wearing the cutoff shirts with the face on it, and then Almonte had his whole deal going. I mean, we had a really good vibe, good group going at the end of the season there.
And I had the opportunity, be not only a media member for a short amount of time, and then also worked for the team a little bit. And it was so cool to see sort of that chemistry. And you brought up that energy, the personality that the team played. I mean, Almonte doing the picture thing with the celebration, Biasis, always big energy. Fitzy with the shirts. I even remember you were part of the social post wearing the shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Just so many down to earth guys. I think it just really shows sort of like the culture that the Red Sox are building in their farm system.
Absolutely. And we had a great group in AAA. I mean, like you said, it was a great locker room guys. I mean, what happened off the field was even better. Like, we just had a great group of people, but the same way in Portland too. I mean, we had some of the best dudes there also. It was very nice, going from one team to another, and you just kind of pick up where you left off. I mean, everybody's just kind of, vibing the same. It's, you got a bunch of buddies on the teams, and I think everyone's pulling for everybody, just trying to win some games. So it was a really good, easy transition there, and it was a whole lot of fun.
And, especially what Portland was able to do at the end of the season. How cool was it for you to see that team be able to get to the playoffs?
Man, that was special, because I think, we're all watching from a distance, but I remember at the end of the first half, we were in Richmond, and, we started, we're just like second half dogs, let it all out. And I think, took that seriously. We had a whole lot more fun. I mean, winning's fun, man. Winning's fun. So we just started having a lot of fun. I think, they carried it on, and, they got hot. I think you take all credit to the guys and the staff and everybody there. I think, they worked hard. It wasn't like it just popped up out of nowhere and they started winning games. I mean, you look at, all the coaches, Epi, the manager, and obviously all the players. I mean, it was a special run to watch.
We hope that you are enjoying our conversation with I hope that you are enjoying my conversation with Kole Cottam so far. I just want to take a second to talk to you about Simply Safe. So have you thought about securing your home with home security but haven't been pulling it off? Well, you'll want to listen up. Right now, Locked On listeners can order the #1 rated Simply Safe home security system for 50% off. This is the biggest offer of the year, and you won't want to miss it. Here's why I love it. Did you know that over the holidays, property crimes like burglaries and package thieves spike nationally? That's why our friends at Simply Safe Home Security are offering 50% off their award-winning security system so that more families can feel safe and secure this holiday season. Order your Simply Safe system for half off today and enjoy advanced security and greater peace of mind this holiday season. Simply Safe also has 24/7 monitoring, and they also have whole house security with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, and their HD security cameras for inside and out with smarter ways to detect motion that alert you only when a threat is real, and even hazard sensors that detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. So you don't want to miss your chance to save big on the only security system that I recommend. Get Simply Safe 50% off any new Simply Safe system at simplysafe.com/lockedonmlb. That's the biggest discount of the year. So don't wait. That's simplysafe.com/lockedonmlb. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Now let's get back to our conversation with Kole Cottam. There's some elite talent down there in Portland, or at least up there. I'm in Massachusetts right now, but with Ceddanne, Rafaela, Christian Koss, and then you also look at some new guys like David Hamilton, Alex Pinellas, just everything that team was able to do. I think it was so cool from where they started at the season, especially you being with them, to where they were able to make the playoffs for the first time, and I believe it was 8 years or so. Just a really cool and special group.
Absolutely. I mean, there's, like you said, they're not short of talent, that's for sure. I mean, you look at, like you said, Rafi's a human highlight reel. I mean, that guy,
Unreal.
take everything out he does at the plate. I mean, he's an unbelievable defender, but I mean, he can hit too, but he'll make a top 10 play like it's nothing. So, but like you said, there's a plethora of talent down there, and they're great dudes too. Like it's not rare, but it's so awesome to see that such good players are such good guys too. And I think we have that all the way through the system with the Red Sox, but it's nice seeing that and knowing all those guys are just good people too.
So I ended up going up to Portland to cover the team and watch a game, and I believe that they were losing by it was like 7-0. It was in, I think, the 6th or 7th inning. I believe they scored like 8 or 9 runs in one inning, and Rafaela ended up hitting a bases clearing triple, and you just see him beating his chest so hard that his helmet falls off, and it was just so cool to be there, see the energy of that team, and the resiliency that they had.
Yeah, he's passionate, man. I'll tell you that. And people forget he's still a kid. He's still a kid and he plays like it, which is great. A lot of people, maturity with, I think if you can get back closer to how you played as a kid, I think you're going to be in a lot better spot. You just have fun, you play loose and play with energy. I think, and Rafi embodies that to a T. So, I mean, it makes him a special player.
And I'm curious, how did you really find out that you were being called up to Worcester? Because I bet that was a pretty special moment for you.
It was nice. It was a night game, and we were playing, I didn't play, and I was like, man, it was a bummer. I wasn't playing, and Epi was kind of like, man, you just got trusted, like it'll be good. I'm like, all right, like whatever. And go throughout the normal day, watch the game, and after the end of the game, he kind of was like, hey, I got to talk to you. All right. Go in the coach's office. All the coaches are in there, and he told me I got to pack my stuff. I'm going up, and it was a special moment, sharing that with Epi and Stacy was the one that told me, but and all our coaches there. It was a special moment. I think and then going back, everyone kind of heard him say I was going in there, which happens to everybody. Everyone kind of like, hey, I got to talk to you, and then. They come back out and everyone's waiting to see if it's good or bad. And you're just you're on the edge, and then, you start smiling, everyone starts coming around, hugging you and all that. And I go back and tell my wife, she's out in the parking lot. So then I got to drive her home, and we got to pack up our stuff in Portland, and spent the whole night packing and then going. Then we drove to Worcester the next morning.
What was her reaction?
She was excited. I mean, I think she was very happy. So, You know, one of my biggest fans, if not the biggest fan. You know, like I said, she's the best. But you know, we packed up and left at the drop of a hat, and spent the next couple weeks in Worcester, and then she headed home for the last couple weeks of the season. She was starting school again, but yeah, so she was so excited, and it was a special moment.
I bet your parents must have been super excited for you as well.
They're very excited. I think, you know, it was funny, other people in my family, they were all planning a trip to come up to Portland that next week actually. And so they're all planning it, had it planned out for months and everything. And then I got called up and we were in Worcester. And then when they were coming up, we were actually in Scranton. We would travel to Scranton. So they came to visit in Scranton for a few days and then finished their vacation back in Boston. So they were so excited. I know
Awesome.
it was special for all of us. So it was great that they could come see us and see us play and all that.
Now, when you first showed up in the Woo, I work in Worcester, so that's you know what they call it. What was your first impression of Polar Park?
Man, I mean, it's a lot different than Hadlock, but they're both special in their own way, that's for sure. But I mean, it looked brand new. Sure, I know it is, but I mean, it's beautiful. There's really not much else to say about it. I mean, it's beautiful through and through. I mean, the locker room's incredible. All the like weight room facility, all the stuff people don't see is incredible, let alone the surface and the field and the stadium. And, you know, I got there, I think on a Thursday or Friday, Wednesday. It was, you know, we were getting there in the middle of the week and then going into the weekend. Man, so many fans. I mean, they were packed. I mean, it was such a fun environment. So, I mean, I will say what the fans see, everybody see is unbelievable, but also what they don't see is probably even better.
I got to echo that because, you know, whether it was my first day, you know, showing up to Polar Park or me just walking in, you know, on a given day, I was in awe. Just looking at all the different historic stuff that they have around the ballpark, specifically Red Sox oriented, as well as, you know, as you mentioned, the clubhouse, the stuff maybe the fans don't see. But overall, I think, you know, the whole production that they put on, I'm a little bit biased since I worked for them for a month or so, but also, you know, what the fan energy brings, it's unlike any other minor league environment, I think. One big example that, you know, I say to people is, even when they play Sweet Caroline, it feels like you're at Fenway Park and it echoes throughout the entire stadium.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable atmosphere. I think, you know, we've had, and what's different than a lot of teams is, you know, a lot of teams don't get fans earlier in the week, and, you know, you play kind of to an empty stadium for a few days and then you wait for the, you know, the Thirsty Thursday and then the weekends and all that. But man, we got so many fans on the Tuesday, Wednesday games. I mean, you're very rarely playing. You're never really playing in front of an empty crowd. So, which was even after rainouts and everything, you know, rain delays were coming back to thousands and thousands of people, but, you know, they stay in it the whole game, which is so much fun. And the atmosphere the team creates, and the you know, the production crew and everybody, I mean, it's different. Like you said, I mean, fortunately the Red Sox have so many great affiliates, and there are so many, you know, through the entire system is just an unbelievable experiences to play for. But I mean, Worcester was a little different with the way they did things, and like fan interaction and
Right.
you know, stuff with the jumbotron. So I mean, it was a very interactive game, and it kept the fans in it and brought more fans to the park. So it was a lot of fun.
Very true. And you know, once you got to Worcester, was there anybody once you walked in the door that really took you under their wing at all?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, a lot of the guys that have been there all year, like Fitz and when Tristan was there, also I just catching up with them. But you know, Devlin and all them. I think Davey Grion actually helped out a bunch, just kind of get me going and working on some of the catching stuff. But you know, outside of them, I mean, it was everyone always. It was like I said, it was a good atmosphere. Everyone was pulling for everybody, and a lot of the bullpen guys too. I mean, we had such a good environment down there also during the games, and then obviously the staff was unbelievable. So it was all the way through, really, it was just a great atmosphere.
You brought up Debbie, but you know, what was your experience with Connor Wong and, you know, Ronaldo Hernandez as well? Because I got to speak with Connor, wicked nice guy, but Ronaldo has quite a personality as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're kind of both very different guys, but both great dudes. I think, you know, they both work very hard, and Connor's awesome. I mean, good chess player, in our having a good fantasy football year too. But we all four work together every day, doing early work and, like eat together, all that stuff. So we're all good buddies. And I think, we all try to get each other better. I think that was, it's probably very different than a lot of orgs and everything, but, we're all helping each other to try to get better and, trying to push each other to get better in everything. We talk catching, we talk hitting, we talk, everything, whether it's game calling, game planning, everything like that. So I think it's very professional and it's very fun. I think we all play ping pong. We all try to, beat each other, but it's like we have fun while we're doing it. So it's a really good group of guys.
Now you brought up fantasy football. Who's in that league with you guys?
Oh, we got a 12-man league. So it's Hartlieb is I guess is the commissioner, but we have it's a lot of people from Worcester, a couple staff members, and it's a pretty intense league.
Hopefully you don't have any Tommy Pham situation.
No, we're good. So it's been fun.
How's your team doing?
We're good. I think we might be 5-4, 6-4, whatever it is. I know I'm above 500, which is good.
Who are some of the guys that maybe aren't cutting it for you?
Oh, for my team?
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, Brady's my quarterback, and he's kind of been struggling a little bit. So I love Brady, but he's been struggling. I think. But other than that, I've a pretty good team. So a couple of guys have been hurt for me. Cam Akers hasn't really been playing, so he was an unfortunate early draft pick, but that's okay.
That's funny, but really looking at as well, your time in Worcester and getting used to sort of the competitiveness from AA to AAA. Did anything really stand out to you? Was it tough to acclimate to that higher level at all?
I think there was definitely some growing pains. I mean, it was different. I think overall, I mean, the game was a little bit faster, but not too crazy. I think the overall picture, I think, was better. I think, the stuff was probably similar, but they could control it and command it and kind of do what you want. So they kind of expose weaknesses wherever you got them. So it's kind of just adapting to that quickly, trying to limit that as much as I could. But I think also just the overall game was it was cleaner, but I think it was very professional. It's a very professional style of baseball. So and I mean that by just clean and it's just very, very well run. There's a lot of really good players. So I think there was a little bit of a learning curve, but I think we had a lot of guys there to try to help minimize that.
And for yourself, how tough was it for you to keep yourself ready if you maybe didn't get consistent playing time like you did down in Portland?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I think, going back, I think the strength coach and everything, helped out. I was just, trying to work out as much as I could and, keep my body in shape. And then, go back to hitting the cages and try to, take some machine at bats and, stay ready with that. And I was in the pen a lot. So, it was easy keeping up there and catching all those guys. And so we had a lot of opportunities and ways to kind of get some action without playing. But it was tough. It wasn't easy. But I think like I said, after going through that for a little bit at the end of the year, I learned a lot about that, a lot about myself and kind of how to deal with that if it happens again, but also, how to get better while I'm not playing every day. So it was a double-edged sword, but it was also a good thing, I think, to go through that and still be able to come out the other side and play well at the end of the year was big for me too.
And you also have the ability as well to play other positions outside of catcher, right?
Yeah. I played a little bit at first base this year. I played a decent bit in Portland before I got called up, and then, we get to Worcester and we have Tristan and a couple of those guys. So, wasn't going to get a whole lot of action there, but yeah, I mean, I like playing first, especially pregame and stuff. I'm not catching, just get some ground balls, some throws from the infield, just to, mix it up, keep it fun. So I enjoy that a lot and just kind of keeping it fresh with that.
That definitely helps out with your versatility, especially, when being able to find different playing time and that sort of stuff. But, at the start of this conversation, you mentioned your ability to be able to catch for a lot of really impressive pitchers. And
Mhm.
one of those guys was like Brayan. You had the opportunity to
Mhm.
spend time with him down in Portland and also in AAA. So what was your experience catching him and sort of seeing his progression through him coming back from Tommy John?
Man, I mean, it was awesome. I think, I only got to catch him a few times before Tommy John. And I think, after, especially this year, fortunately, I got to catch him a lot in Worcester towards the end of the year. And man, it's special. I think, most everyone's kind of always obviously passing an eye test. He's got stuff. I mean, he's got crazy stuff. But I think towards the end of the year, especially in Worcester, I mean, he really started pitching with the stuff. So I think, and that showed, and obviously in Portland, his numbers were crazy, but I think even towards the end, I mean, he started filling up the zone more. He started, working on different kinds of pitches, because I think, being able to locate with that kind of velo, that kind of stuff is just, that's what's going to get him to the big leagues and keep him there for a while. I think stuff alone will get him there, but, I think his ability and his maturity, his pregame work, his intent with his bullpens was outstanding. I think that was kind of the biggest thing that changed for him was, in my eyes, was, his pregame, and his intent was just through the roof, which is great.
That's cool, because it was really interesting to sort of see his progression from when he started pitching in Worcester. Because I remember he had a little bit of struggles with his control, walked a few too many guys, and then, as you mentioned, towards the end of the season is when he really started to figure out how to, find different spots, especially being able to get that control back. But especially when coming back from Tommy John, you can't really expect a guy to have pinpoint control like he did before Tommy John.
Yeah, and I think, like yeah, I don't even think this wasn't even a full season for him. So people forget about that too. So,
Yeah.
he got thrown into the fire with the rehab starts, and then comes up to Portland and does a great job. And I think, he gets amped up in AAA, and, he kind of has to adjust, and he did. And all credit to him. I mean, he made the adjustments, and I think if you asked him, he'd say the same thing, that he learned a lot in those first couple starts. And I think what he did learn brought him success, and that'll in turn bring him more success next year, because he already went through the fire and, still came out pretty well. So it didn't really take him. His bad outings tend to be better than a lot of guys' good outings. So which is special, but he's a good pitcher.
That's for sure. And was there any pitchers outside of Mata that really impressed you from your time this past season?
Oh, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I could list you the entire Portland starting five for the beginning of the year, but I mean, you look at outside of starters, because I mean, everyone gives them a lot of praise, but I mean, you look at the relievers. I mean, especially the guys, we had so many good arms in Portland too. I mean, the staffs, AA and AAA, were unbelievable. I mean, you look at, Wallace and all the Fernandez, all those guys in double Mosqueda, but then, you get Frank Herman, you get Politi, Kelly, Ort. I mean, the list could go on, truly. I mean, the arms and the bullpen arms were awesome. And, I spent a lot of time with them also, but, you get the Walter, the Groom, you get all the guys, the Murph. I mean, you get all the big arms, the starters, but the relievers deserve some love too.
Yeah, it was unreal to really be able to see the amount of depth that Worcester's bullpen had. You brought up Kelly, Herman, or Politi, and then even Brandon Walter. I mean, it was unbelievable to see what he did in Portland. I think he had like 2 walks over 66 strikeouts or something like that. Nuts.
Yeah. I know there was a big streak of about 40 something strikeouts to no walks, and I was catching one. Fortunately caught most of those, but the one walk, I remember there was 2 or 3 pitches in there the guy just didn't swing at, and we're like, would have been a strikeout many pitches before, and just didn't swing, and he took a walk, and it was pretty funny. But obviously he got injured a little bit, and he'll be ready for next year. But man, it was a special time for him too.
Yeah, we're planning on getting him on the show soon, so I'm excited to talk to him again. He's a wicked nice guy, and
He's
really
great.
cool. It's really been cool to see his success.
Yeah.
And so, looking towards this offseason, is there anything specific that you're really trying to work on heading into next season?
Yeah, just always just trying to refine everything, but just get ready to catch a lot. So just working on all the fundamentals with that comes with that, and just catching a lot, and just with the swing, the same thing. Just being able to hit the ball consistently hard. So I think with that comes the power and the doubles and the RBIs. So I think just starting with that and going from there, I think is going to be good.
Love it, man. And, one last thing for you, looking throughout this offseason, you mentioned spending time with family, relaxing. Is there any big plans, fun plans, maybe outside of baseball that you're really looking forward to?
Going to a bunch of buddies' weddings. I think this off season is always good. We're taking a family trip with some cousins to the Bahamas with my grandmother. I think that'll be a whole lot of fun. So we're excited, and I've fortunately gone on a few little vacations so far. But I think just like I said, there's not really a whole lot other than like golf and family that I kind of do in the off season, just other than train. But a lot of good movies coming out soon, I think. So I think there's some hope with that. But other than that, man, just having some good times with family and friends.
What movies are you looking forward to?
Like I said, big Marvel guy, big into all that. So we got Black Panther coming out soon, and there's some shows and all that. So it's going to be big TV movie guy. And then of course we've got so many good football games coming up, and a lot of college football at NFL. So it'll be good.
I love it, man. Well, it was great to hear about your experience and sort of not only what you learned throughout this year, but also what you've been doing so far this offseason. And as always, really appreciate you taking the time, Kole.
No, thank you for having me.
Awesome, man. I hope that you did enjoy our conversation with Red Sox catching prospect Kole Cottam, and got to learn a little bit about Kole's experience throughout this past season, and also got to learn a little bit about somebody who could be a part of the future of the Boston Red Sox. And we're going to continue to bring you great content throughout this offseason. So if you have not yet, make sure to subscribe over on YouTube or over on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, because we're posting 5 days a week to keep you updated about not only everything that's going on surrounding the Boston Red Sox, but also bringing you interviews like these with players, reporters, and other people a part of the organization. But if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about, or anybody specific that you guys want us to bring on, you can let us know over on Twitter and follow us over there, LO_Red Sox. You can also follow myself over there. It's at Jake Iggy. And also my co-host Lauren is 3 Laws, Lauren with 4 R's. But as always, we greatly appreciate everybody tuning into the Locked On Red Sox podcast, and for making Locked On Red Sox their first listen of every single day. Now make your second listen Locked On Sports Today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. But we hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. But we'll end it how we always end it. Let's go Sox. Peace.